Star Wars Republic Commandos. It's a Star Wars cult classic game that was released in 2005 and re-released on Switch in 2021. It's easily in my top 5 favorite Star Wars games, or Star Wars games of all time. But does it hold up while being played on the Switch? Hello AAC Universe, both human and non. My name is Grand Admiral Joey. I am your resident Star Wars expert, and today we're going to be taking a look at the classic Star Wars game, Republic Commandos. Now, before I get into this review, I just want to say that I might be pretty biased about this game. As much as I don't want to be, this game is so close to my heart. I've played the storyline dozens and dozens of times, so I was exhilarated to hear that it was coming out on Switch, as it had been at least 5 years since I last played it on my PS4. Playing Republic Commandos always has me nostalgic, and this time was no different. I always get taken back to my old bedroom where I would play this game on the original Xbox after coming home from like a super long day of 5th grade. Back when I first played this game, I remembered how cool it was to see the Clone Wars from a first-hand perspective. It was a brutal war, and having 3 other brothers along your side that you could trust to carry out missions and tasks and even watch your back was a game mechanic that wasn't used before. In this game, you play as Delta 3-8, nicknamed Boss, and you're in charge of commanding Delta Squad through various missions and tasks. Delta Squad consists of 07, nicknamed Sev, the warrior and muscle of the group, 4-0, also known as Fixer, the more balanced and level-headed of the 3, and then there's 6-2, or Scorch, the funny guy and demolition expert of the team. Each of the team and Delta Squad have their own personalities that make you dive even more into the game and grow attached to each of the characters. Multiple times you'll hear Scorch banter with Sev about their kill streak, or Sev might question why the funny guy is also the guy that's carrying all the explosives. It seemed like most AI team members in video games never really help out with anything, and you're really the one doing all the work. They were usually just there to make the battle seem more tense, but that's not the case with Delta Squad. Each member is a fighting machine, and they can equally carry their own weight on the battlefield. If you task a member to carry out sniper support, you can expect near bullseye accuracy every time. If you want a team member to provide heavy weapon support, he'll be packing the same amount of heat that you are. You can really count on your team to back you up in a firefight and even revive you when you fall. The game probably has 2 handfuls of commands for your squad, but this is really helpful in an intense firefight. You can order your team members to carry out sniping and heavy weapon support, like we mentioned, but you can also tell your team to provide grenade support or even jump on weapon turrets that are scattered throughout the battle scenario. Delta Squad can also be tasked with setting explosive demolitions, arming and disarming mines, setting up explosive traps, breaching doors, hacking terminals, and retrieving Bacta from Bacta stations. If a team member goes down, you can send your squad member to provide mobile Bacta to him, which will revive him and give him half his health back until you can get to a Bacta station. And if you go down, you can order your team to either continue fighting all the enemies until all of them are destroyed so they don't risk getting down, or you can prioritize yourself and have them revive you, potentially risking you or them being downed again. Once all of Delta members are down, the game will end and you'll have to start back from your original save state. This helps the game continue to move along without having to restart every time you get down. Unless you play this game on hard just like I did, there's some missions where you have to replay like 20 times over before you clear it, but it's a lot better than you going down and having to start all over. In regards to the controls of the Switch, I was really shocked about how bad it was to control your character. It just seemed really jumpy when moving the joysticks, but some sensitivity fixes in the control menu seemed to mend that a little, and so it was okay. And if you haven't played a game that was from 2005 in a little bit, then it might be really hard to get back in the history of what FPS games really looked like then. An example of this is that there's no sprinting, which I didn't find to be a problem, except when I would go like 2 rooms back to get a Bacta station, and then I have to run all the way back up to my team who was probably already in another battle scene. I probably could have used sprint then. And the button layouts are also really weird, and I had to change up a few things just so it didn't feel so awkward on the Switch. There weren't any standardized button layouts for FPS games at the time, and I think every game did them a little bit differently, including this one. Also, something else I had to get used to was just hip firing with my standard blaster, which I did about 98% of the game, as aiming down the iron sights was pretty much impossible. But I think that was the same in 2005. I don't remember using the iron sights then, as much as I would like in a Call of Duty match now. Plus, on the jumping joysticks, it was just kind of hard and wonky to use the iron sights unless I was sniping. But you get used to it over time, and I didn't get to test this with a Nintendo controller, so I bet you would probably have better results, but like I said, I didn't get one, so didn't get to try it. The graphics were maybe a little bit better than the past, but I did have to change the light settings as some of the whites were really blown out. Again, I think this is just something that used to happen in the old times of video games, and at the time, the game was just phenomenal, so I bet it probably just was how the times were. But a little bit of imagination and I was able to easily get immersed back into the game. The frame rate was a little tricky and it could run 60 FPS, but in larger outdoor open battlefields, you might see it drop down to about 30 and then build back up to 60, which can make the game seem like it's stuttering a little bit. It's not noticeable until It's not really noticeable as you continue the game, but you'll definitely feel it probably in the first 10 minutes of playing it, especially in Geonosia on the first scene. The game is also in widescreen, so it fills up your entire Switch screen, which is different than how it used to be because it was only full screen last time, but now it really fills the aspect ratio. Other than that, the story and the extra content is the exact same thing, and I still get goosebumps to this day while playing this game. I recommend it to anyone. If you're a Star Wars fan and you have a Switch, grab this game for $14.99 now and immerse into the war. You will not regret it. That's all for this video, AAC Universe. If you like content like this, make sure you send Sev to slice that subscribe button, Fixer to snipe that like button, and send Scorch to set a charge on that bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye-bye!